Look out, y'all. We are about to go live on this show. Um,
Hey. Happy Thursday.
Hey, everybody. It is the Impact Radio Show.
Presented by the Florida Star. A span of over 1.3 million listeners covering North Florida and Southern Georgia. Peace and welcome to the Impact Radio Show presented by the Florida Star. Happy Thursday, y'all.
Happy Thursday. Today, Ms. Viatani, Vanessa Davis is hosting. I am your executive producer, Carl Frederick, your African gentleman. Today with us, we have Mr. Daryl Goodman. How you doing today, sir?
Man, this is so much fun. I need to pull out money out of my pocket there. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we will be interviewing him about the West African fashion show that's coming up that your African gentleman will be a part of. But as you know, we are going to be bringing you events and everything else that is going on throughout the city.
You ready for me to take over, CJ?
Yes.
All right. So, of course, we are joined by Mr. Goodman talking about his events, and Reverend J Frederick, the leader of Kingdom Builders Initiative Group, will lead us in an impactful moment, won't you, CJ?
Yes.
So we're going to have a fantastic show tonight. Before we get too far into it, everybody, do business with one of the oldest Black-owned media companies in America. Now more than ever, it's important for you to support independent and locally owned media. Weekly subscriptions are available at thefloridastar.com, thefloridastar.com, and one more time for the Holy Ghost,
thefloridastar.com.
Thank you. You're getting it. All right, for those of you getting ready for a quiet night in this fine Thursday, or you got some questions for the gentlemen here about their event coming on, call in now. We're listening in around the area to see what has impacted you this week. There are plenty of events, television shows, and radio stations you could be listening to this Thursday. So thank you for being here with us on the Victory Station. Check in with the crew. What news or entertainment got you going tonight? Call 904-766-3401 before 8:50 and take your answer off the air. What are we going to be doing next week? You remember?
You know, I think Shaun was talking about stopping through possibly next week.
Shaun was stopping by.
Yeah, Shaun is stopping by.
Maybe possibly. If not, you were going to be interviewing me, remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of new stuff that's going on.
Got a lot of great stuff going on. So I'll be talking to you guys next week with what I got going on. You don't want to miss it. And of course, we will be sharing another impactful moment with the Reverend CJ. And I'll also be following up with some stories I'm working on for the newspaper, like what you should do with your loved ones for Valentine's Day. There's a lot we got going on in Jacksonville, a lot of great events, so you don't want to miss next week's show in Black History Month. Hey,
so we are Black more than February.
Most definitely,
but you know,
we're going to celebrate.
We're going to celebrate big time.
Yes.
All right.
All right, we're going to do a quick little news break, and then we'll head into an ad break, and then we'll get with Mr. Daryl. Would you mind listening to some news with us, sir?
Man, please. I'm enjoying myself.
All right. Well, you know, we do a little.
I told you I should pay for this.
We're going to do a little headlines, and then we kind of talk a little bit about it. So you can chip in. Sure. Yeah. A quick news break for the listeners of the Victory Station, 1360 AM and 94.
A couple of people watching me from Carolina.
FM. Hey, everybody.
Thank you, Miss Karen. From South Carolina.
Thank you. Nice for listening. Hey, now we can say we're South Georgia and in Florida. Oh, you cut us on an ad break? We are about at an ad break.
No, cool. I think you probably misheard what you were saying. You were saying it from the news.
Yeah, my bad.
My bad. I ran at it and still kept talking about next week. Hey, Mr. Willie, when you started talking, they could hear you on the radio. That's why I turned the mic.
But when you move the mic, it makes a sound too.
Okay.
So it's okay for them to hear him. He is in studio.
Okay.
You know.
Now, what is your radio handle?
I'm just Vanessa Davis. Doing talk is my business.
Doing talk.
Doing talk.
Yes.
Okay. But Miss Vanessa is what you're known as on the radio?
Yep. Yeah. We're back now.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Impact Radio Show. Thank goodness for producers like Reverend CJ Frederick, always keeping us on schedule. How you doing, CJ?
I'm doing good. It's a fun one, as always, inside of the studio. We really be doing the most.
It's all right, but we are joined here by your friend, what is this?
Mr. Daryl Goodman.
Thank you, Mr. Daryl Goodman. Welcome.
Welcome.
Well, you know what? I'm telling you, I want to thank the lovely Miss V for her voice and her organizational skills. And then the Reverend CJ, one, for inviting me, and two, for being a part of my fashion show. I just want to say thank you guys. It's an honor to be here. And I really appreciate y'all affording me this opportunity to talk about this terrific fashion show that we're about to have, that Reverend CJ is going to be a part of.
We are so
very excited. Very excited.
I've only heard good things. I saw Marquita. Anybody who knows models in town, they know Marquita. She is involved. She did some lives with you, CJ.
Yes. That was a very dope interview that she did. You know, when I saw it, I got really excited. It's always fun when Marquita's around. She's a whole different kind of energy.
Mm-hmm. What else y'all got going on with this fashion show?
So actually, we want to go ahead, jump right to the end. What is the actual name of your company? If you can just introduce yourself to the listener audience and tell us where you're from.
I be from. Notice I said I be from.
Right.
From Johns Island, South Carolina. Now, a lot of people are familiar with Charleston. Charleston has a series of what they call sea islands. Mm-hmm. And one of the sea islands is where I happen to be from, and that is Johns Island. And of course, I started on this trip, and I'm going to start name dropping some people. When I first got the concept or the idea to start my first company, which was called Low Country Exposure. Okay. And the name indicated where we were from and what was our purpose. We were from the Low Country, and that's the area in the lower part of South Carolina, the coastal area where Charleston is a part of it. When it goes down from Beaufort and it shoots all the way up to Myrtle Beach. And so I wanted to have a name that was very descriptive. And what we did was in 2006, as I was about to leave Kuwait, and yes, I want to thank you all who paid your taxes and allowed me to be traveling back and forth from the Middle East, to name a few. As I was about to finish up my time in 2006, I decided that what I wanted to do was start a company that would encompass both video and photos.
Okay, so tell us about your fashion line. I know we could go all about it, but tell us about your fashion.
Well, here's how we get from there to here. I decided last year to sell my house in James Island, another one of the sea islands. Okay. And I decided that I was going to move between my two sisters in Carolina and my brother, one of my brothers that's in Orlando, and my other brother that's down in Miami. So I went to Ghana, and as I went to Ghana, I fell in love with the fashions. We all hear about the kente cloth, especially during the month of February. But I really wanted to see what it was really about. So I paid Delta some money, advertisement, Delta Airline. And I flew over to Accra in Ghana. And I hired a driver. The driver took me around to a couple of places that sold the cloth. So long story short, now I have the cloth, and what am I going to do in order to show it to people? Well, I set up a website, then I decided to do a fashion show. And that's where we are now. And it's called West African because that is where the clothes that I'm going to be showing comes from.
And as you guys know, West Africa is where my heart went for obvious reasons. We got Miss Ghana herself sitting over here to my left.
I mean, if you're talking about the Gullah Geechee culture, you're talking about low country culture.
Right.
That's very West African culture.
That's very West African culture as well.
Yeah.
You know, simply, you know, as we mentioned, African gentleman is going to be featured in the fashion show. Because as soon as I saw West African, you know, that's our whole vibe.
That's what we want you to do. We want you to go crazy.
We were going crazy because I get a lot of my things from Nigeria. I get a lot of things from Senegal. Get a lot of things from Ghana. We're working our way into Kenya. So when Mr. Goodman, afforded me the invitation, I was really, really excited because West African is all I do. Because I'm dressed in my best logos Nigerian outfit tonight.
All right.
Yes, shout out to you.
Yeah.
So what exactly, if you could just give us, just a sneak peek into your mind, what exactly we want to see this Sunday?
Well, let me resort to my reference here because, I am a senior citizen. So we're going to start off with the Trendsetter Beauty School. They're going to give us a hair demonstration. It's going to be really, really nice. They have some students that's got some skills because they say the bar beauty business. They got hands. And then after them, we're going to kick off with the African gentleman.
Yes.
I know you know who I'm referring to, of course. I'm sure. He's going to do a segment now, but hold tight. We have Miss Candace. Miss Candace is going to come in with some sunshades. That's going to just completely blow your mind with how they look. Then we're not going to stop. We're going to head on to Miss Akeem, who's going to give us the soul seed.
Yeah,
man. We love it. I buy a lot of her.
Yes, I could probably stop right there, but I'm not going to. So hold on. Now, after the soul seed, guess what?
The African
gentleman.
I'm excited about some African clergy.
What do you mean by that? I want to talk a little bit about that.
So, one of the reasons why bishop attire and things like that, and show your liturgical side and your culture at the same time. So that I'm excited about that particular segment because you're going to get to see how we would decolonize your pulpit. We decolonize your closet. We come for the pulpit.
So now at that point, you have had two iterations of the African gentleman.
All right.
You should be fully understanding as to that big word he used, or clerical, or whatever that liturgical, or
that would be your liturgical garment,
right?
Cassix,
that word, that
garment.
Yeah. So now, at that point, what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to catch your breath. We're going to bring back the Trendsetters Beauty School off of Normandy, and they are going to do another demonstration. So now that's two iterations of the African gentleman and the doggone Trendsetters. Now, at that point now, you've gotten twice your money's worth from us.
Most definitely.
But we want to not stop there just to show you that you are worthy of more than what you paid.
Right. So tell them what time and where we can get to the fashion show. I know I want to go to the whole show too, but we want them to see it better. Even more.
Okay. So you got to come down to the Lock venue, which is at 229 North Hogan Street, downtown Jacksonville.
Okay.
Now you
want to get by the park, right?
Yes, ma'am. It's like a block. Yeah, it's like a block away from it. Okay. So, but now be mindful that there are other events going on that same day, and we're trying to get out by 3:30. We're scheduled from 1 to 4, But what we're going to try to do is get out 3:30 so you can rush to your car, and those are coming to the
I love when people tell you up front, we're not trying to waste your time. We're trying to get y'all to come in.
Not at all.
And you said, I know we're going to have, going to have the fashion show. We're going to have vendors there. Of course, I got to vend. Yeah, African gentlemen will be participating in the foolishness.
What can we say?
As usual. So tell us, how can they find you on social media?
Wait a minute, I want to add.
You want to add? Okay.
That it's Sunday too, so parking is free downtown.
Parking is free.
Right. But there's a lot of people coming down because I understand there's another event that honors bosses of different types of companies, and they jumping off around 5, so around 4 it's going to start to get thick. But I'm going to try to get you guys out by 3:30, no later than 4, so you can be out of downtown traffic and on your way. So once again, you can find us at www.4AFIMPO, which is for African Imports, which is the name of the company on the website. Now, if you decide that you want to get a hold of me, please don't hesitate. 843-437-4024, Cash App, and Zelle.
Nice.
Yes, there is a cost association to the event. I don't understand there's a VIP package and there's a general admission. What are those costs, sir?
Well, if you don't get to me by Saturday, which is 2 days from now, it's going to cost you $45 and $55. $45 general admission, $55 if you want that VIP. Now, I got you 2 drinks, I got you some food, and I got you a gift bag. Plus,
that's real VIP.
That's real VIP.
Come on.
I got some gifts in that bag for you too, so no problem.
Nice.
But look here, can I just quickly run through the rest of the lineup? We got the House of Bacchus, which is Miss Makiva, Miss Amani. We've got Jason, which is going to be Miss Ramona. And then, wait a minute, how do we get there? Does the African gentleman come back again?
Again?
Is that right? Or is that we?
I think we made a jump back again.
Yeah, that's what it. Oh no, what it is African imports. And
I'm gonna say, hey,
Ellis.
Don't get Carly. Don't have Carly chasing me. Don't have Carly chasing me. And I dress up in a second. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna.
That's what it is. Okay, we got the African imports.
Yes.
Then we got T. Ellis. Now, ladies, I'm telling you, she has 2 fine stores, and you're going to see some stuff that's going to really blow your mind. So I'm closing out with the African import. Now, I got some cloth, kente cloth, that is going to wrap 2 people. I've got some men outfit. So I'm going to shut up at this point now because I'm going to get run out of here.
But we're definitely going to have you back. And like I said, I am so glad to have him in because, for a long time, when you never want to do anything by yourself. And I'm glad to have him along as a collaborator. I'm glad to be a part of this fashion show. Decolonize Your Closet. The campaign is kicking off at the West African Fashion Show this Sunday from 1 to 4 at the Lark. We look forward to it.
Parking is free. Just come on down after church. They got food. Did you get the VIP package? You already got some snacks for you. You don't want to miss it, guys.
Not at all.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
We are up against an ad break, guys, but we'll be back with Reverend CJ in his impactful moments. See ya. All right. Welcome back to the Impact Radio Show presented by the Florida Star. Guys, if you are interested in submitting your story to the newspaper, please contact me at do_and_talk on all major social media platforms. And I got an email address for you too, admin@doandtalk.com. On that note, let's dive into this week's moment with Reverend J Frederick from Faith Under Construction. What you got going on?
Hey, everybody. It is Reverend J Frederick, leader of Faith and Construction. We just want to remind everybody, no matter where you are in your faith, whether you're a newbie in Christ, whether you are a journeyman Christian, or you are, are at the point of rebuilding your
journeyman
faith.
Christian.
Yes.
I love it.
I know, listen. We've all been journeyman Christians, a little bit in, a little bit out. We're trying to find ourselves, but we are, no matter where you are in your faith is always under construction. Hey, I'm about to bring you your impactful moment brought to you by Kingdom Builders Community Group. We are recognizing the believers in the community that is the church and you are the kingdom. I had a chance to stop by Joshua Christian Center this morning.
You did.
And got a chance to see the kids and do their chapel service to their whole staff and to the school. When I tell you, this was not a regular situation. Kids were attentive looking at me like they knew what I was talking about. So I was a little bit.
Shout out to Joshua Christian Academy. Y'all doing your thing there.
Yes. So and like I was telling everybody, like I ran around Joshua Christian Center, in my middle school years and getting fussed at from the pulpit by Dr. Peanut. So shout out to Dr. Frederick and Gloria Pickney. I had fun with the crowd today, but I got a chance to talk to them today from Mark 4. Where Jesus gave the parable of the farmer who went out sowing seeds on different grounds. Now, listen.
What's going on, farmer?
Because God has these ways of making me live sermons before, I teach them. And this morning I was sharing with them my, one of my big hashtags, one of the sayings that I'm always saying when I get frustrated when people misquote the Bible, which is read the book. So today was hats off to literacy and everything just kind of, went along with it. But today we were talking about the different types of grounds that receive seed. So Jesus liked to use a lot of farming parables because he always talked to a lot of people that dealt in what the Bible called husbandry or husbandmanship, which is modern day farming. Thinking now I'm starting to see the correlation why they send the husbands out in the yard because it's called husbandry. So they still call it husbandry. We just call it something. Something else. But he used parables to communicate simple, spiritual things into simple language. And one of the things that he was in Mark 4, I like to call it the seed, the farmer's thing, because it's just one seed parable after another. So he talks about stony ground, thorny ground, and good soil. So there was a farmer who was going out and he was sowing some seeds, and the first seeds that he threw out landed on stony ground, and as soon as the seeds hits the ground, birds come up and snatch it right off of the pavement. Then some seed fell into some thorns and some thistles. We can call this dry ground, just dry weed ground. It took, a little bit of root, sprouted up, but soon after, because of malnutrition of whether the ground or the keeper, it ended up dying. Then some seed fell on good, fertile ground. This allowed the seed to be able to take root. It was full of water, it was cared for, and it grew and it blossomed. And for a minute, everybody was like, so why do you say that your teachings are like these three grounds? Well, he said the first ground are usually people who are hard indifferent to the word. Right. You ever try to give somebody some advice and they look like they could care less? It could be some good, sound advice that could change their life, because their heart is already hard and stony. The seed just lays there and the enemy comes and take it because you weren't interested in hearing it anyway. Then there's that thorny ground. People who are usually easily motivated because they hear the glory of a thing. They hear the pageantry of a thing, or they see the end result. But as soon as they dive into the work, they're not as enthusiastic as they were when they first received the word. Everybody want to be a hairstylist until you got to learn how to do hair. Everybody wants to start a business Like I always laugh at the commercial. We say, I started a kombucha. I thought it would be a whole lot more kombucha and a lot less business. When I started African Gentleman, all I knew was, hey, I like African clothes, and I'm tired of going to the women's stores to find the one shirt all the way in the back.
Right.
But oh my God, when y'all started supporting your African Gentleman, and it became a business. I was almost like them thorns and them thistles, full of enthusiasm, but as soon as the work got hard, here come the enemy and grabs it up. And what Jesus was saying, like, these are the people that are in the thorns and those thistles, that they get distracted by the world, they get distracted by trends, they get distracted by fads, and it gets so noisy and it drowns out and it ends up choking out the gospel that, you know, that Jesus is trying to give. So just like when we talking to our kids and we trying to tell them, hey, go do the right thing, it a lot of times get drowned out. It will get caught up in the white noise of everything else, and you know, and their enthusiasm starts big about the good thing, but soon, you know, everything chokes it out. And then we get to that good, fertile ground. Usually when you have a great situation for farming, the seed and the ground are both receptive of each other. It's something about when it is about to rain. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, it's usually the best time to lay down seed and fertilize because the ground is setting itself to receive, you know, that nourishment. So you got to be willing to be deep rooted, understanding that, hey, I'm going to start a business, but I'm going to be willing to struggle those first 2 years. Or I'm getting ready to go in ministry, but know that those first 5 years is going to be more of a training ground for me than it is for me training anybody else.
I better be ready to get some doors slammed.
You better be ready in sales. You got to be ready to take them 10 no, those 9 no's and get to that one yes, because that one yes can be the thing that hold you over to the next period. Those people that are that last ground, that fertile ground, they're the ones that allow themselves to get watered by good teaching. They're the ones who get fertilized by good self-study, and they are sticking in long enough for their roots to get deep enough that when the things start blowing to and fro on the top, they're not easily uprooted because it's deep. Their roots have gone into the ground. It's holding on to something. It's not superficial. Most trees got deep roots.
You have to. And are connected.
And are connected to other trees that creates a root on the ground. They feeding off of each other that makes the ground fertile for others. Most weeds you can snatch right out the ground. Just like because they're useless. They're not there to do anything but clutter up a yard and spread more seeds to shallowly grow along the path. So are you a weed? Are you a tree? And Jesus go on to say that those who allow themselves to be deeply rooted into that third, 40 soul, they can increase themselves 60, 30, and 100-fold. You will never be able to tell me how many apples you have a trees or a forest you can get out of one apple.
That's true.
Because you may see 5 seeds in there, but when you plant those seeds, it creates a bigger number of apples, which carry more seeds, and on and on and on. If you are good ground, you will get to see your seeds flow. So be good ground today. This has been your impactful moment brought to you by your kingdom builders and African gentlemen.
Gentlemen, this has been so fun this Thursday. I want to say thank you to Mr. Goodman, and we're looking forward to your show on Sunday. So much gratitude to you all for listening, to our writers and our producers. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, the Florida Star, our partners, the Ritz Theater and Museum, African Gentleman, African Lady, Do and Talk, Crumping for Success, The Purpose Resuscitator, Hollywood Productions, The Ritz Writers, The Thrift Her, Kingdom Builders Group, and 904 The Record. Special thanks to you all for listening. To CJ for all the work he did for this show. You did a lot this show. You got the guests. You were in producing. We're so thankful.
All right.
My name is Vanessa Davis. You guys can find me at Do and Talk. In here with DJ, the wonderful cousin DJ.
Yes, everybody's favorite cousin.
Yes, we are so excited to have you guys.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
Yes.
With either myself or Nashawn, which will be
or both knowing y'all.
The host of the Impact Radio Show. He'll be right back at home. And now we will send you back to your regularly scheduled gospel music.
All right, with 2 minutes to spare. Yeah. For 2 minutes to spare. All
He's
right.
gonna play
Well,
us
thank
out.
you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have been so kind to me. I should pay you, but
Next time.
I know y'all don't accept money, so
Cash never bounces.
It never does.
Oh man, I'm excited about it.
Yes, sir. Me too. And thank you guys once again for being a part of it, man.
Yes.
You
So
know,
remember what I was telling you,
definitely.
like this is going to be the vibe for the wedding. So we definitely that was the showstopper he was talking about.
Yes,
I got to
sir.
see that thing in person. That thing is